Hey everyone, welcome back. This is take two for this video. So you're going to see me, I'm going to have a change of wardrobe in a portion of it, and that's because I feel like I got a little bit ahead of myself and I wanted to change a little bit about what we talked about today. So I've had quite a few questions actually in the past week and comments about going either to a fertilizer company or an aeration company. And what I really want to focus today on the general cost. So what would it cost for you to do it yourself? What would it cost for you to have somebody else come in? Obviously the contractor side of things, you guys would have to talk to somebody else out there just to make sure that you understood kind of what that full scope of price would be. But what we can do today is talk about how do we know specifically how much product that we need to purchase. So I am going to show a little bit specific labels on each one of the products out there, but on every single product out there you are going to see somewhere on the label a coverage, and typically that coverage is in square footage. So just like you would if you would go out and get new carpet for your house or paint your walls in your home, you need to buy a specific amount of product for that specific area of coverage. So it's very easy to do that. However, a lot of people kind of miss this step. I've also had quite a few conversations recently, as well as in my past, where people say, I bought X product and I put down half a bag. Okay, well, I may or may not be familiar with that particular product, and that's fine, but did you look at that particular label? Because there are ramifications to putting down too much product and too little. Obviously, each one of those products has a specific guaranteed outcome, and we want to make sure that we apply correctly in order to deliver that specific outcome. So let's talk today about what do we need in order to make sure that we're buying the right amount of product, and then that will tell us in turn how much money are we going to spend if we purchase that product on our own. So let's get to it. I have some products here. So on the left, I have Scott's Disease X. This is a fungicide. I have Milorganite, standard Milorganite, which is an organic fertilizer. And then I have 3 herbicides here. I have one to control Bermuda grass, one to control almost all weeds, and also one to control nutsedge. And on each one of these bags, typically in the bottom corner, see if I can get it to focus here. In the bottom corner, it says treats up to 5,000 square feet. Here, this one actually has 2. It shows covers up to 2,500 square feet, and then for Florida specifically, up to 5,200 square feet. And I'll talk about that here in a second. This is the Bermuda grass control. That says up to 5,000 square feet. Another one up to 5,000 square feet. And this one's also up to 5,000 square feet, but I don't know where it is on the bottle. So we might have to look at maybe on the, also on the back label. Okay, so I'm standing in front of my handy dandy chalkboard. I had some scrap wood in the garage, and if any of you have kids and you have any scrap plywood laying around, go and spend $15 and buy yourself some chalkboard paint. I had some from a leftover project, and then I threw a frame up around it to hold my chalk. So we obviously, just like I said in our example with paint or with the flooring, we need to know what is our area. So forgive me, I'm not a very good artist, but for sake of argument, let's say our lot size is perfectly rectangular, which, thanks to my particular builder, and if you happen to be watching this in the neighborhood, our particular builder, building tract homes, most of our lots at the very worst are pie shaped. We don't have any weird shapes. So we have a rectangle, right? So we have our width and our length. In my particular instance, my lot size is 0.167 acres. But within that, I obviously have my house, I have patios, I have my driveway, and I have landscaping. All of that area needs to be removed from our calculation. When you go and buy a product, you don't want to buy the amount of product specifically for your lot. You want to buy it for the area in which you plan to apply it. So we have for me, I have my driveway, I have my house. So again, forgive my very poor drawing here. My backyard's a little bit bigger than that, so let's try and draw that to scale. So we have over here, literally our houses are all rectangular as well. Again, thank you to our track home builders. And if I'm going to oversimplify it, there we go, there's my house. I have a little bit of landscaping here in the front, and I also have some landscaping on the side. What we need to do is we need to measure these particular areas in order to give us an idea of how much product do we actually need to buy. So again, at this point I've already shown you the products that we have that we can potentially apply. So all of those products, let's just use the Milorganite for example, that's an organic fertilizer. And on the bag it specifically says other than Florida, and that's because Florida has regulations around one of the particular ingredients in that fertilizer, but for all states other than Florida, that will cover 2,500 square feet. So we need to understand what are our areas, again, in which we plan to apply. So we're just gonna simplify things. We're gonna say we have a front yard, we have a right side, we have a left side, and we have a back. Okay, so we wanna know if we go out front, right, left, back, and then our total. So what are those? And we want them in square footage. So what we can do is we can again oversimplify things, and we can just say that's our right, this is our front obviously, our left is going to run to here, and then our back is this whole area here. So we just want to do a quick rough measurement of length times width, because our area here, can't write across my body, equals length times width. And again, we don't want to be hyper specific, we just want to oversimplify things. So you guys, I'm going to pan right now, you guys are going to quickly see me go in and measure the yard. So you'll see I'm just using a regular measuring tape, a 25-foot measuring tape. You can buy one for about $6 if you don't have one at Home Depot, Lowe's, or Walmart. And just do a quick rough measurement here of the length and the width of each one of these segments. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about my specific yard. Okay, so let's talk specifically about each one of these areas. So I just went, you just watched me go and measure. So my front yard, 600 square feet. My right side is 500 square feet. My left side over here is 700 square feet. And my back is 2,200 square feet. So if we add these all up, 1,800, 4,000. Let's make sure my math is good. 11, 18, there we go. I can add 4,000 square feet. Okay, so we now know that we need to purchase product for 4,000 square feet. Simple enough, right? And the biggest problem now is, okay, we have 4,000 square feet of area. And for example, that bag of Milorganite covers 2,500 square feet. And it's the exact same thing for anything else out there that you buy. One of those herbicides that I showed, the Bermuda grass, the nutsedge killer, or the broadleaf weed killer, all of those products all have a particular square footage that you need to make sure you pay attention to when you go to plan to apply it. So what we want to do is check and see how many particular bags or containers of that product would we need. So we have the coverage area for the product. So we'll label that product coverage area. And then we have our area. So our area the quantity. So obviously for us specifically, we were going to plan to apply that organic fertilizer that has a 2,500 square foot coverage area. We have 4,000 divided by 2,500 equals over 1. So I know that I'm going to have to buy 2 bags. So we're going to have 1.6 bags. Okay, so we know now our cost for us to apply any product to our yards. We can easily use this equation. Okay, so we now know that we have to buy 2 bags. Now that's not to say that we're going to use all 2 bags, so we can save that 0.4 of a bag and we can use it at a later date. But this gives us a good idea of how much we're going to actually have to spend per application, because we can take 1.6, because we know that we're going to need 1.6 bags. We can always use that fertilizer later, and we're going to multiply it by our cost. In our case, Milorganite is about $15 a bag. And what does that take us to? 38? No, I have to bring my calculator back out. Sleep deprivation. 24. I really can't do math. The first cut was better with my math. So I've $24 is my cost. Now I can tell you that for me, for example, my yard being 4,000 square feet, I know that the local pesticide applicators, so those are the people like Top Turf, True Green, Think Green. For my particular yard, the charge would be $45. So if I apply on my own that particular fertilizer, now I'm not saying that's all they apply, I'm just saying that for this particular product, if they were going to apply it, which they do apply something similar, at least one of their applications is something very similar, I can do it for $24, whereas they're going to charge $45. And again, I'm not suggesting one way or another, but this should help you understand how much to purchase. Now, once you do that, the easiest thing is, okay, well now I know I need 1.6 bags, and I know that the whole bag covers 2,500 square feet, I can easily figure out where a bag would go. So if I did only need to apply to my backyard, so if this happened to be an herbicide situation and I'm trying to control a particular weed, I know, because I calculated and measured everything specifically, that I could buy a 2,500 square foot product and I could easily treat my entire backyard. It's important to understand size, because it can help drive you in the right direction, whether you want to pay somebody to do it, whether you want to go out and buy a product and do it yourself, but you really want to make sure that you don't over or under apply. So please let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. I figured that this would be a good video to put out right before everybody makes the decision of whether they want to go out and hire somebody to overseed or hire somebody to fertilize, because this should arm you well enough to make the decision for the following year. So thanks for joining, and happy mowing, everybody.